Oh yeah. Hello there. I want to thank all of you. We have reached a milestone on this channel. It's a very lovely milestone. 100 subscribers. 100. Wow. And I never thought I'd get one. So you guys are really, really, really exceeding my expectations, and I appreciate that. So today I got a special treat to celebrate. We're gonna do. I know. You know how I'm always showing you guys stuff and I never open it up? Well, today we're going to actually do an opening, but it's also going to be a review. So let's do that. I do plan on continuing our lovely series on our green horde here of various green skin, green scaled creepy crawlies. And it'll be a bit of a tutorial, but a fun one, because we're going to kind of speed paint these things. Nothing too fancy. The dragon, we're going to do a full video on, but like, you know, all these green critters, they're just going to get the tabletop ready treatment. But anyway, let's get to what we're actually having the video about. It's going to be amazing. You guys are going to love it, I hope. I'll start with the review segment because I want to talk about these Precon decks here. I haven't yet to play Commander, but I bought these for my game group. It's a great way to get people into the game, I had read, and I wanted to really talk about these decks here. So I want to talk specifically about this giant foil card, okay? I don't know why it exists. I've opened a few of these decks. We tried to play a game of Commander, but we ended up doing Explorers of Ixalan instead. But we did get some card sleeved last game night, so let me show you a few things I noticed. So one thing I noticed right off is the decks come with these oversized, gigantic, useless cards. I don't know why Wizards would spend the time or money making these. I'm very confused. They have no purpose other than maybe to be the command zone. I don't know. I'm just going to keep them in a box somewhere. I don't know what to do with them. But the other disappointment, the deck box. Each of these decks come with this kind of deck box. Now, I've done some experimenting, and I have found a use for the deck box. But it's not a very good use. You can put a sleeve deck of 60 cards in it. It kind of fits. It's crooked, but it will close. It will close. The box will actually close. So, I bought a bunch of those Precon decks from Card Kingdom, the fun ones. So I'm going to use these for them. But if you have a sideboard, which I'm about to show you, here's a standard sideboard with your tokens and what you need to play your deck. You can't even fit dice in here. You can't even fit a sideboard in here with sleeves. So, hold on. Let me show you what I mean. Watch me try to shut this box now. It's not going to happen, okay? If I smash the cards, I can get it kind of down. but it's not going to work. Okay, so you can't have a sideboard sleeved in these boxes. All right. Now it's really close to being big enough to fit a full deck with the sideboard, but it just doesn't get the job done. And that is irritating. So we can't use it for that. However, it can be used for, like I said, these fun decks. So I'll use them for them. I'll make use of them, but it's really annoying. There is no way. It's kind of like these weird boxes here that come with the deck starter kits or whatever they are. Yeah, it's like them. They're useless. There's nothing. You can put some dice in them, maybe. I have the health spinners in this box. Okay, so that aside, let's talk about the actual product. Okay, I have no problem with the product. Like I said, I've never even played the game. But what I love about these, not so much these, but these. I left a card out. What I love about these is you get a deck for $20 that you can play out of the box and have fun with. Okay, now could you build a similarly powered deck out of common cards? Possibly, but you're not going to have your Soul Ring and your other Commander staples that this one has. Okay, so Command Sphere, I don't know if that's even in here, but it seems to be in a lot of these decks. So having said that, for $20, you get both decks for $19.99 each. Okay. That's not a bad deal. From what I gather, that card resale price is higher on the Zendikar Rising decks, and that these decks here are a little more competitive. That doesn't matter. The key is are they fun? So we're gonna find out when I finally play Commander if they're any fun. But from what I've been able to gather, they are perfectly fun. They say this deck is somewhat inferior, but still fun. So there's that. You can still win with this deck. And you know, Commander isn't necessarily about winning. It's about having an exciting game. So, you know, you don't have to win every time. If you're playing that kind of Magic, you probably want to play, you know, something more in the 60 card deck range. Which, by the way, these were on sale at Miniature Market. I showed these in a previous video. I actually found a use for them. They're no good for Commander, but they're perfectly fine for a deck, and you can fit in all your tokens and stuff. And your counters go in here. Although I wish this was a little bigger so you could put, you know, your dice in there. But what are you gonna do? It was on sale, so I can't complain. $6, so not bad. It's a pretty sturdy box for $6. You know, I don't know. It's fine. Let's talk about what we got here. So our first commander is IEC, the Tyrant of Gear Strait. I mean, you guys tell me in the comments. You know, you get one legendary foil in these decks that cost more. You get 3 legendary foils, or 4, I can't remember which, but who cares. The whole point of this is you can get these decks and the Zendikar Rising decks for half the price of these decks, and that's all I needed to hear. Yeah, that's all I need to know right there. I got the 2018 set of Commander decks too somewhere around here. I don't know. Somewhere. So we're gonna open these up real quick. No ado. I don't know anything about the cards in them. I don't know which ones are good or bad, the ugly. You get to see what the packaging kind of looks like here. Don't let me drown while I'm opening a box of water themed Magic cards. Pretty cool. Alright. So this card is just flapping in the breeze here. That could be fun. It's pretty bent. Well, not bent. Can you see that? The angle of the dangle? So maybe bent stored. I'd say it's more, it's like cylindrical almost. It's not like, there's no crease, but it's definitely not straight. Here's the deck. Looks like there's some counter spells in here. I'm not going to open both these decks. We really don't have time for that. I just want to give you a basic idea. You're going to get some commons. And I'm sure there's a list. Here's some uncommons. I don't think any of them are amazing. Some of them are serviceable, though. Like I see this on a lot of the YouTube Commander games. People play this a lot, and same with this card. Oh, there's a straight up counter spell. Huh. I didn't even know they made that anymore. There is another card. Oh, this one I've seen played quite a bit. And then that Mud Raker, mud puppy looking thing. This one, Mole Drifter. Yeah. So, those are good cards. I know because I've seen people play them in this format. I've seen this one played. I don't know. It's not a bad card. So, all in all, I'd say that, I'm not saying they're valuable, but it looks like this is a playable deck. Here's another Hydra. They have a bunch of Hydras. I've seen this card before. It didn't, I got it in a bunch of, a big card lot when I first started building decks again, and it didn't make any of my decks. But, hey, maybe it's great in this format. I don't know. Oh, there's a mythic rare Avengers in the card. I've seen that in several decks, so that's not a bad card. So you could do a lot worse. Let's see if there's any of your Commander staples in here. I've seen this one used, the Meteor Golem. It's a high cost, but it's Soul Ring. There you go. Soul Ring, so that's a must-have. I've seen these used, the boots. There's some lands here. Command Tower. That's pretty much the gist of it. Let's look at the tokens real quick. So apparently this deck wants to create beasts and elephants. Illusions. Kind of the blue equivalent to a spirit. Saprolings. Copies. More saprolings. So there's definitely a nice variety of tokens that you get. This deck is a Voltron deck, which means that you're trying to get your commander to attack people and kill them. Which, with equipment and enchantments and such, it's not a terrible concept. I don't know that the execution's there from what I've been able to read about it, but I've also heard that it's a fun deck to play. It's not as powerful as some of these other decks, but again, this is a casual gaming experience kind of buy here. So it doesn't have to be beautiful. It's a different take you know, and it's in white and red. You know, not a lot of white and red decks that I've seen in these packs, so you know, it's just something a little different. I don't know that it's, you know, worthwhile, but it's another deck. 1999. I'm gonna go ahead and sleeve those up and show you one of the other advantages of this product, which is right here compared to these other products. This deck box. Hold that thought. Got these sleeves on sale at Miniature Market. I think they were $2.50 or $4. I gotta tell you guys, sleeving and using deck boxes, man, it is not cheap. Protecting these cards. And you know, a lot of them probably don't even need protected, but I'm just weird that way. So I'm hoping over time, as this sits with the other cards, it will start to fly straight, because right now it is warped. Also worth mentioning, each of these decks has 3 unique cards to the deck. So if you're a Magic completionist, I think Wizards, that's why they make a new card in most of their products. Even like Explorers of Ixalan and the Game Knights 5-deck game deal. I believe there's unique cards in there as well. Also reprints. So you're looking at cards that were made in the past that they have reprinted with a brand new logo. Sometimes these commander decks is where they'll reprint a really useful card that, you know, maybe is hard to find because it came out in Weatherlight, you know, or The Dark, or one of the Alliances, you know, Homelands, one of these older sets. Maybe Homelands is a bad example because, as I recall, there's a lot of them. But yeah, maybe you'll find a card that maybe, you know, would have been more expensive without these commander decks being printed. Stuff like that. Another thing I can say is this deck is definitely on theme. There's a lot of different little krakens, elder dinosaurs, sea beasts, sea serpent type creatures. So that's cool. Also of note, apparently the definition of a kraken is pretty broad in the MTG universe. One's a crustacean, one looks more like a whale. I'm sure there's squid. Oh, I saw a squid earlier. So yeah, pretty broad. Actually, this card looks pretty cool. It's got some nice abilities that fit very well synergy-wise with this deck. This, if you could get hexproof or something on this, some like lightning greaves or something, that could be pretty nasty. Alright, so let's look at this thing. This looks pretty dumb. Add 1 colorless, that's fine. Doesn't come into play tabs, so that's good too. But the mana cost to get those 2 basic lands is pretty absurd. 4 mana? I mean, actually, this would be a good premise for a new land type if the mana cost was less. But at 4, there's no way. So how about this for an idea for a land card for these decks that's not too powerful? Sacrifice, pay 4 life, sacrifice, and search your library for, you know, whatever 2 land types you want to put on the card. But, so it's 4 life or 4 mana. So that way late in the game you could be like, oh, I'll pay 4 mana. I don't know. It's you know, it's like a weaker, not so premier, but also, you know, not terrible land card that could actually make these decks playable. So Or those lands that come in tapped, or unless you pay life, make it 4 life. So like a common version of the rare lands kind of thing. Scale it down. Make it hurt, but make it possible. Somebody wants to get a bunch of stuff out quick, well, they gotta pay. I don't know, just a thought. Now, one thing I do like about these decks is they come with these tokens that are specifically catering to the deck. That's pretty sweet. So whatever this deck generates, I have the tokens for right out of the box. It's kind of annoying, actually. I mean, they're cheap, don't get me wrong. They're not expensive. But I've actually had to make orders of token cards. Yeah. I don't know if you guys have experienced this as well. You can let me know in the comments, but how do you feel about ordering token cards? They're like that afterthought when you're opening a pack, the token card. And, yeah. It turns out, well, it kind of matters, right? You want to have your tokens. You want to actually tap. You don't want to use, I know in the old days we used to play in Fallen Empire's day. I know, right? The salad deck, right? You grab green, little glass, counters. Well, the problem is a glass counter doesn't tap. Is it tapped or not? Does it have summoning sickness? Well, it looks just like the one next to it. I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong, those glass counters are great for other things like +1/+1, but man, there's just something about putting a card out and saying, boom, that's my creature. I do have the miniatures, which I've done videos on, but I don't even think they do as much as the card does, honestly. All right, guys, here's the moment of truth. See that? You just fold it out. Boom. We're set. Now, this will fit. Not just the cards. Now, my one gripe about this is the commander. Well, the box fixes it, though. How do you know who the commander is? Well, pretty easy to figure out. It's right there on the box. Now, in these other decks, there might be times where we're playing the wrong commander. Because there's more than one legend in these decks. Okay? So I'm going to have to put them in other boxes. I might have to write down on the box who the commander is. So I know. Because otherwise it might be like, who is the commander? Alright, now. Here we go. The moment of truth. Check this out, guys. Would you look at that? Just look at it. It all fits. I promise it all fits. It all fits. The life counter does not fit. But everything else fits. And I always put the commander in the front here. So sleeved and ready to go. One commander deck out of the box. Is it the best? No. Is it the worst? Nope. As you saw in my other video, those green boxes that were way fancier didn't even fit the cards. So there's that. One ready to go box. Reap the tides. Ready to rock. Now, that is far superior to this nonsense. I mean, what were they thinking? They used the same amount of paper on this box as they would have on this box. They used more. They even got a plastic insert. I don't understand. But I'm glad they've improved it. This is usable, ready to rock out of the box. Now, you can't fit in the life counter. So maybe if they can improve that. I mean, I'm not going to force it in there. Okay? That'd be the only thing I'd improve upon. Or a Velcro thing. right? You could Velcro the life counter to the side. If you really want the life encounter involved. I mean, dice work just as well. Anyway, that's all I got on this video. We're going to go to the next video. We're about to talk about another purchase I made. This one's actually miniature related, so stay tuned. I know I'm covering a lot of topics with these videos, but you know what? It's all interesting, I think. Yeah. So, you know, this whole series of videos is to inform you guys, but it's also to talk about what I want to talk about, or anything you tell me in the comments you want to talk about. We can talk about it. Okay. Just let me know. Let me know. I'm kind of going on blind here. We're going to do some painting on these miniatures. I've been working a lot, unfortunately. Or fortunately, depending on how you look at it. And, you know, because there's a lot of people that don't have any work right now. So I'm not going to complain about that. Guys, have a great day. Stay safe out there. I'm so glad you watched. And woohoo! 100 subscribers. That's pretty wild. I never thought I'd get there. Thank you.